Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and to today's daily, which is September 14th, 2025. Today, of course, we have puzzle page as it is loading up here. Well, we didn't do this one yesterday, I guess, so I ran out of my consecutive days for tokens, so oh well. We'll get those free guys anyway. Yeah, we didn't miss it yesterday. Oh well. It happens. Let's get our discount, see what's going on in this thing. For today, nothing on the main page, so we're just going to have to go through them. The puzzles that we have on here and have some fun. So let's start with our picture cross. It's flashing, or it's the one that's selected as a suggestion, so we'll get at it. Alrighty, so how's everyone doing today? First off, this one looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward from the start here, but then that can of course change. This 4 is done, so this has to be a 3. The 7, we can't quite determine which one of those two is in yet, so the 9 we can't, well the 7 can't get over to here, we know that, right? Because it's 2, 4, 6 of them already, so it doesn't touch either one of these two. So therefore this is just the 4. Then we can put in the 2 here. Now, we've got the 1, 2, and we're going to have some combination of 1s over here. What about this 1, 4, 1? Can we do anything with it? 1 gap, 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, we can, because of this 6 is creating like a bifurcation, if you will, of this line. The 4 has to be on this side, and then it just has to do this. Now the 1 was, we don't know quite yet what's going on there. Now the same thing's going to occur somewhat here with this 4, because it can't get on this side, so it's going to have to be over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can do 2 of them and put the 2 down. That's going to give us something on our 2 here as well, and then we can go over to this 4 and put U in. Now we know this is part of the 4. 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we just have that given because there's only again, these guys blocking this off means this can't go anywhere else. What about this 1, 4, 4? Because this guy is out. This guy can't be in, right? Actually, we can just look at this. Let's do the 2, 2, 3 here first. This guy has to be in because we can't go to the right. Now we have to put a 3 spot over here, and it can't obviously go in here. So that's done with. Now let's go back to our 1, 4, 4, because we can't use any of these two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that's just what it has to be because we have to put a 1 and a 4 in it. So those are done. Good. What else can we say? This guy, we actually, well, I think we do know this is the 2. Yeah, because we can't go this way. Well, obviously, there could have been the possibility it was the 3 if we could take this guy on and the 2 could go over here, but I don't think we can do that because of the fact that we have this 5, 2 here, so we can't, this has to be part of the 2, which means it can't get down this far, so this has to be part of the 3, which means this guy has to be in, which means you have to be in. We can also go down here and say that 2 has to just be done. Good. All right, what about this 1, 3? 1 get 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, could put those in. And this, of course, is one, if you actually were using the crosses, you can probably dig through this pretty quickly, but I kind of like the added challenge of it. Let's see, the 7 here is done now. We still don't know which one of these two is which. The 9, we can do the 9 because this is cut off now. So the 9 has to go this way. That's going to tell us we can put the 2 here. Now, 1. This has to be the second one. There's no other way to put it in here. So this can't be in. So we have the 1, 2, 1. This one can't be in. This one, so this one is. That finishes that 2. Now this 2 has to go up because we can't get this 4 over that far. So that goes here. That's going to put a 2 here. Now this 2 has to go up because we can't go down. Now, let's see if we can finish off these guys. Okay, this 1, 2, 5, because this one here can't go in, this one must. That'll finish the 2. And this 4. The 3, well, this 3 here, this has to be part of the 3, and this can't be part of it, because we have only 1s here, so these are both out. So these are done here. That gets you taken care of. Now, this 2 has to take on from these 3, so it has to go here. Or one of them has to go there. The other one is either high or low. We don't know which one it is yet. 1, 4, 1. One of those ones is there. 2, 2. We don't know where the 1 is here. The 4 has to finish here. And then we're going to have one of these two and one of these two. Now, can we figure out how to do that without putting X's in? Let's see. 3. Okay, yeah, this 3 has to go this way. That's going to finish that guy off. And 4, we need a 1 and a 1 going up this way. So this has to be that 1. One of these two will be the final one there. That one's done. One of these two has to be in. 2, 2. I don't necessarily see where... Okay, well, let's use the 2, 3, 1. This guy here cannot be in. This cannot be in, so this has to be the final one. That finishes up. This be the 2, and then this is the final one. Good, we got there. I don't know what the heck that is supposed to be. Bingo, apparently. Okay. Guess those are bingo balls. All right, let's do the wordy since it's blinking at us. We're going to do it anyway, so might as well just do it. Let's get the normal in here. Now, what are your typicals when you do these guys? Do you use my kind of thing, or do you have some other grouping of words or letters that create words, obviously, that you prefer to use? I'm curious, because I know there's a bunch of different ways you can go about some of these things, and there's certain good words you can use that don't necessarily work like this. There are like articles and people who have studied this to see what the best words are. I think that's kind of where I came into doing it the way I did it, but it's been a while now since I've been doing this. I don't remember anymore exactly how I got there, but what can this be? Would it be something like an OE? Kind of seems like a weird... I guess it could be. EO? Don't know. It's going to have to be one of those two, right? Because it's probably not E something O. I guess it could be. Like Ewoks would work, but there was an S. I don't think they'd allow that. Well, I don't really have a lot of information, so do we just try to find a word that uses an E in a different place and then try to get as many letters in as we can? Let's think. You would think an ED would work if we can figure out a way to make this combination of letters work. Tood. I don't think tood is a word. No, okay. I was going to say shooed as well, which I know is a word, but we can't have an S in it, so it's not necessarily all that helpful. What if I mooed, as in a cow? No, they'll take... That really wasn't even that serious of a guess. I was just trying to get some word in there, and that's what it turned out to be. Mood. Okay. Sweet. We take the luck any way we can get it. This one's asking for that. Let's do something else first, and then I'll come back to that. Let's do the charge up. This is essentially like tents and trees. So let's put all these guys in. None of these can go in. And let's see, where do we have an opening? This 3. So one of these two, and this one has to be in. It's going to remove these two. It's going to push this guy here, which is going to mean this is that one. These are out. Now this guy here has to have this guy. So that's going to get rid of you and push you and you and you. And then we can put the blanks in. There we go. Straightforward. We want to get coins for that one. Let's do the challenger and maybe the Kakuro, and then we'll come back to the word search in a second when I feel like watching an ad that I can ut out. All right, let's go start with 1. Humiliate. 3-word and a 4-word. Put down. Seems like it could work. Yep, there we go. Engrave using dots and flicks. This is stippling. Interesting that I know that. It's just stipple, but it's an art form of creation. So I did a lot of art. I went to art school for architecture, but it was an art school. And I also did a lot of art type stuff when I was in high school. So we did stippling I think it was in college. I mostly did stippling. It was part of a base art program that we used. Kind of things you have to take them if you're in the art school sort of thing. So that's why I know what that is. Anyway, grown in pods. Just peas? No, there's not enough letters there. Grown in pods. I don't know that one off the top of my head, so let's go on to something. Snowy sport leap. A ski jump, perhaps? Yep, that'll fit with the 3-word 4-word. No longer asleep would be awake. Untreated. Crude. Okay, let's go across since you have some words, and we might get something to work on that the 3 down there. Freed or unknotted would be untied. Relies on, depends. Nope, not the S there. Depends. Wolf. Oh, well, I like to try to guess sometimes when we have multiple letters. Trick or stratagem is wile. Let's go back to the 3 down there. Grown in pods. Oh, just beans. I was being a little too specific on my type of bean. Is a pea a bean? Yeah, a pea is a bean, right? I guess so. Column of smoke would be a plume. Let's go across here. Spike for food would be a skewer. Joked. Yep. Played tricks and japed. What's the downer? Quarantine. Asylum? No, that's not going to work. Quarantined. I don't know right off the top, so let's do some of these across ones and see if we get some help. Code word for letter D would be delta. Agricultural storage building would be a barn. Distant from each other. Far, no. Apart would work as well. Point of view be vantage, but that's not, we don't have the letters for that. Opinion will also work. What's this one? Narrow strip line projecting into the sea would be a, well, the words that I know that would work for that type of description are not these letters, so I'm not quite sure on that one at the moment. I probably know it, I just can't see what it is. I mean, I see the word tongue, which actually would make sense. I'm going to put it in and see if that works. Okay. If I spelled tongue right. I don't know if I did there. Anyway, tiny river fish. How about a minnow? And then we'll come back down now this way. Quarantine again. Oh, isolation. There we go. 1 of 5 on hand would be digit. Diverging from type would be a variation or a variant. There we go. Unrevealed. It's probably a UN as well. UN word, not the organization. Unknown. There we go. Sandwich spread would be what? Sandwich spread. Oh, just paste? Okay. Twinges of discomfort could be pains. Yeah, let's go across here. Oh, that's this. Did I just spelled tongue wrong. Yeah, okay. It was tongue. I put the U way too early. Half man, half horse is a centaur. There we go. Not bad. I liked some of those. Those were some good words. All right, let's. I'm gonna hit the ad on this one since I just had another ad. I'll just pop it in there. We'll go for it. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, so let's get on to this one. What is this one? Financial terms. Okay. Let's see if we see anything right off the bat. I don't, which is interesting. Vesting. I saw that one. Okay, so let's say we got yield, equity, margin, profit, annuity, annuity, capital, turnover, dividend, inflation, liquidity, blockchain, and amalgamation. Okay, well, there's amalgamation right here. Let's see what else we can do. Yield, equity, margin, profit. Okay. Getting off to a strong start here. Where is is any of this stuff. Here's liquidity. It's not one I was specifically looking for, but there it is. How about capital? We're just going to find random ones that we're not actually looking for. Why can't I find yield? This should be very easy to find it. Here it is. Okay, got it. Equity, margin, and profit. Doop, boop, doop. Margin. Don't know what you're trying to click on there, computer. Equity. Profit and annuity. Let's see now. Profit. Where's annuity? Thought I saw it, but I didn't. Oh, it's right here. Turnover, dividend, and inflation. Inflation. Where are we? Inflation. Turnover. So we still need dividend and blockchain. Here's dividend. Where's blockchain? Right here. There we go. All right, what's next on the list? We've got, let's do Kakuro. It's blinking at me, and that's one I said I was going to do anyway, so works out perfectly. Alrighty, so we've got a 3 and a 4 here, so these have to share the 1, so we can put the 3 here and the 2 here. The 3 says this is the 1, 3 for the 4, which can trickle down here. This 9 now has 4, so this has to be 5. The 11 now has 8, so this has to be 3. If I can click on it, this guy has to be 8 as well. These will be 9 and 7 for the 24. And no, I don't think we can tell which one is which there just yet. Let's try to find another, because we might have to come back in from the other side to get these. Here's a 3, 4 as well. So let's put the 1, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1. That's going to go to our 3, 1 here, which is going to get us up into here as well. So this is the 3, 1, 3, and 1, and 3. This is a 2. I really wish we could use the keyboard on this thing, but I think I've tried before, but it doesn't work. Yeah, so this is the 5. What else? This 4 here, we have to put the 1 here because we can't put a 1 on the 12. So that forces that one to be there. This is to be the 7. Now this is a 8 and 6 here, but I don't know that we can use that necessarily. What else can we say? We actually, no, we might have more on the 31 because we have 2 17s looking this way. So these are a 9, 8 pair. So we're at 21 at the moment, I believe that is. So that gives us 2 more to get to 10. I don't know if that's necessarily going to help us. Let's see. Do we have anything else that's a given for us? Or do we have to start putting in some options or thinking a little bit smarter? What about the 28, I guess? So maybe we can correlate the 28 back to the 30. So right now we're at 11. So we need 7. Okay, we need 17 more. It has to be 9 and 8. This is the 8. This is 9. That's going to transfer all the way back. 9, 8, 9, please, and 2. Now we said this had to be a 6. Come on, work for me, please. We've got here 10, 21, 27. So this one has to be a 4. Good. Now this has to be the 1 and the 3 and the 1 and 4. Do we go into the 22 or do we look elsewhere? It's just scanning around for a second. Don't quite know. 1, 3, no, it's not going to tell us a whole lot. We might just have to put some options in here and then see what's going on. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you don't necessarily, so just going to put them in. This one would have to either be a 7 or a 5. This would be either a 9 or a 7. So we can probably work out the 22. How many of those are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we can just do that. I should have just counted them. the 22 in 6 digits must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. So this one here has to be the 7. This has to be the 5. That's going to get these guys going. So let's put those in. Now we said we need a 1 and a 2. So this is the 1, this is the 2. The 7 here in 3 spots has to have a 4. So you have to be a 3. The 6 has to get a 2 and a 4. Good. Now this 7 needs a 1 and a 2 left over. Well, the 4 can only share the 1. So that's what it's going to do. Then we'll transfer over 3 and 1. That's going to give us this 4 as 3, 1. This is a 9, and we said this one had to have a 7 in it. There we go. Good, good, good. That was a nice curl. It flowed very well on that one. Okay, what do we have left? O's and X's are kind of meh. Let's do the code word, I think, and that might be the last one we do. What are we at? 22 minutes? Yeah, that'll sound about right. Let's do the code word. The O's and X's, they're fine. They're just kind of, there's not much thought to it. Just kind of go through the stages of it. So let's see, what can this guy be? Could this be an R? Like this could be curve. I think that's possible. Let's think about. Please work. Let's put that in for the moment. Let's just go with it. Sometimes you just gotta just get at it. This I obviously has to be a vowel, or 1. It's a 1, not an I. The 1 has to be a vowel of some sort. This is a big old word right here, and so is this. Goodness gracious. Do we have anything here we can think on? Do we want to think maybe something else? I'm starting to think that this E is not correct. So let's get rid of that. Let's pull back here. I still feel like the CR works though. I feel like this wants to be an I, first off. That's why I had an issue with this possibly being an IE to start. I think I is the perfect, or is it? What the heck is this word? Goodness gracious. I feel like it wants an N there, but that's really, this doesn't have to be an I now. It could be an O. Would that make more sense down here? Not necessarily. That is a ton of letters, but I mean, it has to be a vowel of some sort, right? What is this word? This one here is really getting at me at the moment. Because it has 3 of the same vowel, whatever it is, whether it be the O or an I or something else, and it has 3 L's. Trying to think of a letter that will work here. I always want to go with an N for some reason. It seems like the most, even if it was like an I, IN, ON, all seem to work pretty well in front of the C. There's only a single, there's no other of those letters though, so it's kind of an odd one. Is it possible this is something else? Let's keep going kind of through them. I kind of like this now as being E, because this could be an X. And that would make more sense in being only a singular letter. I still don't know what the heck this word is, though. Excel. What is this thing? Am I being really slow, or is this like... Now again, we still don't know if this is an R, so I could probably just get rid of it, but... Excel... I am struggling with this. This has to, it's something, so let's keep looking. I don't think the A feels as good. Now, obviously, the X wouldn't work with some of these other ones, but... Belly. I don't know. I think E works the best, but still, I cannot... For some reason, I can't put a word to this. Let's try to find something else then, maybe. What other information do we have? Like, this has to probably also... Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's probably another vowel of some sort. Lin... Could this be Esquire? That would go back to making my R what I thought it was. And this could be like liquidation. Let's do that. But this being a... No, this would be a D, sorry. My bad. And A, that makes sense. T, O, and N. Excellently. I guess that works. Okay, let's do that. All right, we just had to switch over. Relayed, okay, steed, these are all working perfectly. All right, we had to get the right way. Now, Sully works. This could very well just be a K. Is there anything else that works there? Could be an M. Trying to see how it also works with some of these other guys. What about you? You feel like you're a V, and this would be like an gavel. No, because then Geeds. What's Geeds? Maybe it's not the V there. Okay, what else do we have? This could be the P to be opine. What about one of these guys? Fleck and knife works. Follows works. Let's try this one because we have 3 different things this has to fill, and it has a good chunk of this word. What could this be with what we have left over? Or what can you be? Curbs? I think that's the only thing that works there. So let's try that at least. Nothing, I can't think of anything that works on these last 2 letters here, though. This is, okay, let's do this. It's not siegs, sees, seek, seems, sieve, see. The only thing that works is M. Now, I thought that could be an M there as well, but there must be something that isn't quite right to be able to finish this. Like the P maybe has to go somewhere else. This could be ovine and cramp. Now that will work. Now that the P is available. This could be pager. This could be a Z for gazelle or gazette. Excuse me. I was reading both of these words together and I put them together. What's that? I can't think of what that term is when you add words together to create another one. I just was thinking about it yesterday for some reason. This is hazel and this is got to be jumpy. A portmanteau, is that what it is? But it's not really the same concept of what a portmanteau would do, but that's kind of the thing of putting 2 words together to create another. Anyway, random knowledge, if you really even call it knowledge, but that one took a little while, so that's going to be the end. I'm not going to do it as an X's, and I'm not a huge fan of cross sums, so I'm going to skip those. And of course, the Sudoku, as we state every time. So anyway, that was the daily for September 14th. The puzzle page, of course. I hope you all enjoyed that one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.